So tomorrow kicks off a couple of back-to-back days of the second legs for our Champions League, Europa League and Conference League qualifiers featuring Rangers, Hibs and Dundee United. All three of them coming away with positive results last week. A couple of performances that maybe could have been a bit better, but the results is all that matters, and fingers crossed they can follow up the positive results from last week and maintain that, and all three of them progress to the next rounds of the competitions they're currently in. Hopefully not having Dundee United being eliminated altogether and Hibs and Rangers dropping into the Conference and Europa Leagues respectively. But without further ado, let's get into the predictions for each individual match. Starting off with the second leg in Greece between Panathinaikos and Rangers. Rangers, of course, 2-0 up on aggregate. The game itself probably doesn't reflect how Panathinaikos played, which is probably why Panathinaikos, according to the betting odds, are the favourites to pick up the win tomorrow night. Rangers really struggled after the opening 10 minutes in that first half, especially on the wings. They looked really vulnerable. Jack Butland kept them in the game, and the trend continued for the first few minutes of the second half, and then Finlay Curtis out of nowhere manages to curl in a good shot into the back of the net. It took a little bit of a deflection, mind you, but they all count. And then again, a few minutes later, Panathinaikos came close to equalising, but then a key moment in the game, Finlay Curtis fouled, second yellow card. Whether it was a second yellow card is debatable, but it happened, and then from there Rangers took control, and then Gassama came on, of course, and scored his debut goal to see Rangers 2-0 up in this fixture. Now, by no means are Panathinaikos out of the tie. If they get an early goal tomorrow, it could make things really quite nervy for Rangers. I think they need to hold strong and probably make it to half-time still with their 2-goal lead intact, if not managing to snatch another. And then they should be pretty clear. But I'm actually going to predict a Panathinaikos 2-1 win tomorrow night, but of course that one Rangers goal will be enough to see them through. I don't think we'll get extra time. If it did go to extra time with the heat in Greece, I would probably back Panathinaikos to get through, unfortunately for Rangers, which I think most likely would see them taking on Shakhtar Donetsk. I think they beat Besiktas quite heavily. So fingers crossed Rangers can progress and play what looks like, as it stands at the moment, Servette. But we'll see what ends up happening. 2-1 Panathinaikos victory, which should still see Rangers through. Next, on to our earlier kick-off on the Thursday night between Unastrassen and Dundee United. Dundee United still, of course, the favourites to go through. They're 1-0 up. The goal itself, I don't know if you've seen the highlights back if you didn't watch the game. It's a strange one. The goalie's kind of rooted to the spot for it. It's not really a spectacular effort, but again, they all count. And I think the Dundee United fans will tell you that the performance levels can be higher and potentially need to be higher as well. If they let Unastrassen get any sort of confidence in the game, it could be one of the more embarrassing results in Scottish football history in Europe, but hopefully Dundee United can turn up a bit more than they did and put them to the sword to set up a tie, which should be quite good to watch between Rapid Vienna. They'll be the underdogs massively, but hopefully they can get to that stage. And I am going to back them to do it. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Dundee United win. Now on to the juiciest tie, if you like. Hibs versus Midtjylland. Hibs put in a great performance away from home. Just the blip of giving away the free kick, and I think Jordan Smith's positioning could have been a lot better for it. As soon as I was watching it and I saw the free kick lined up, I thought he was going to score. Hibs will have definitely taken the 1-1 draw if you'd offered it to them before the game. However, with the way that the game panned out, they had the ball in the net and it was just offside as well. They missed a couple of big chances. They'll probably feel aggrieved not to have won the game. Midtjylland, of course, still the favourites to go through, but with the fact that the tie is at home, I think Hibs have every chance of managing to pull off the upset, and I'm going to back Hibs to do it and come away 1-0 winners against Midtjylland. Is that a silly prediction? Probably. But hopefully Hibs can make it through, and if they do make it through, they've guaranteed themselves a playoff at least. Whether it's a Europa League playoff or a Conference League playoff remains to be seen. But that is going to be doing it for my predictions for the European fixtures this week. On the Friday, I'll be uploading my pre-season predictions for the Scottish Premiership as a whole. I'm not going to predict the League Cup or Scottish Cup I'm just going to predict them as the fixtures come. But I'm going to predict how I feel the season will go. It does feel a wee bit wrong to do it when the transfer window's still open for another month, but obviously the fixtures kick off at the weekend, so I feel like I need to do it before that's the case. If we wait for the transfer window to close, we're 4 or 5 games in, and it's a wee bit easier to maybe call things at that point. But if you are new around here, please consider checking out some of the other content on the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.